Okay, now you should hear me. I'm going to restart all of that. Hi, everybody. I'm your storyteller, D&D Dory Lee, she, they pronouns, and welcome to our episode of Ampistrano. Very, very excited. Thank you for your patience. I'm a hot mess today, as is normal. But yes, we're going to go around real quick in a moment to do introductions, tell you who this wonderful cast is and who they'll be playing today. As you can see, we are down a mozzarella. They are at PAX Unplugged, so please go and support them on the workshops and the panels that they are currently doing. But let's jump over to Sin, if you would like to say who you are and who you'll be playing today.
Hi, my name is Sin, Sovereign of Sunflowers, Eater of Chips. Today I am going to be playing Rory of the he, him pronoun. My pronouns are he, they, and as Jordan has mentioned, if you happen to be at PAX U and you see Osani somewhere, do say hello. If you happen to be watching this from the comfort of your home, then we hope that you enjoy all of these things while you're here.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sin. And let's have that pop up. So I know we got people in and out. And we'll jump over to Fair.
Hi, I'm Fair. I'll be playing Deodora. Our pronouns are she, her. If you see Mots at PAX, tell them to get to their hotel room and log the fuck in. Like they promised they would.
Oh boy. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Reminder, if you would like to support us and our phenomenal cast, please consider checking us out on Patreon and on YouTube. YouTube, we have new episodes airing every Tuesday and Thursday in preparation for our episodes on Saturday. You can also find us on social media at Ampistrano everywhere. We're going to get pretty much right into it. So I'm going to go ahead and give some content warnings. Ampistrano may contain intense themes and descriptions, including but not limited to death, darkness, heightened levels of stress, descriptions of injured and slain individuals, ghosts, spirits, monstrous creatures, hallucinations, visions, possession, existential crises, complex and complicated relationships, missing and kidnapped people, grief, regret, and romance. Please stay safe as you travel beyond the veil and prioritize your well-being. And lastly, a recap. Rory and Corbin had a meeting of the minds, and a new understanding was made between the two of them. Ostani, meanwhile, reflected on first arriving at the Veil Temple, while Deodora contemplated and finally donned the Shiftweave armor, quickly learning it'll take time to adjust to it. The group then headed over to the Strand to investigate Aerie, finding that a spell had backfired on her. As the group attempts to bide some time, Ostani found herself caught within the currents of oblivion. And that's what you missed. So, let us journey beyond the veil of Ampistrano. Okay, and we are back. Welcome. So, afternoon in the Strand. We see a series of dilapidated homes, shacks, and huts that in this moment are being pelted with rain. Puddles gather on the street, a game for children as they hop from dry patch to dry patch in a makeshift hopscotch in order to quickly run home. We see, for several of these homes, individuals coming outside and placing glass vials by their doorsteps to help catch the rainwater as it falls before shuttering up the house. It's hard to believe that at one point, this was the origin of Jorix. Not the castle or small hills, the Strand. A cart jostles nearby, quickly coming in from the fields, waylaid with grain in several massive jars, making its way past the homes to the grotto, its wheels making a loud, grating noise as it moves across the uneven, muddied, and water-laden road. In one home, there's some kind of loud music playing while a horse brays in a nearby stable. Torches sputter and lamps shake slightly, standing tall in the rain as shadows gather from the clouds, which are dark, save for the moment that they are bisected by lightning and a large boom of thunder following, shaking the very homes the Strand is on. A much larger storm is brewing at the home of Aerie. It was like a lightning strike when you shot that spirit arrow, Rory, which connected you, Ostani, and Diodora to Aerie. A single moment which made you all the closest you have ever been, but yet still so very far apart. Aerie's head flew upwards, skywards, towards the ceiling, opening her mouth in a voiceless scream, with its echoes finding a moment of a voice later, straining, pulling, fraying her vocal cords, metal frying against stone, sweat quickly pouring down her face as unfocused eyes stream tears. With what little energy she has, she starts straining, leaning side to side to get away from the pain. The cloth draped over her arms swaying as her hands move limply. Sparky, at this moment, is standing, leaning against Ostani, growling. Melania quickly stands up, tucking pieces of hair off to the side of her face, muttering before closing her eyes. And again, straining the connection she currently has with you, Rory, to just a few strands. Before opening her eyes with a burst of golden light and rushing into the room to Aerie's side. This pain is nothing. Pain is nothing new. This cold is nothing new. But now, warmth. A small fire. Several small fires have gathered. Can't control slipping away. Must get warm, must live. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm starving and trying to get home to Mamo. Mamo. Who is... Rory. Describe in this moment the soul wave you have created, seeing at this time, Ostani is slowly being pulled into the black hole at the base of Aerie's arms. And Diodora is here, but not. Her shadow, her outline, a small swarm of shiftweave, much like Javian's back in Felk, but not. What do you do?
Well, I think the first thing we notice from coming in here is that Osani seems to have lost her footing, so I take a look back to see what Osani's condition is, feeling the change in the connection between us.
She is almost held aloft as you see the very base from her chest. It looks like a thread is slowly being siphoned off into this abyss that holds almost midair between Aries' arms in this moment. Her eyes look wide. She is aware, she is alert, but you can see confusion seeding its way through. And you can see that as this is happening, it's like when you have 2 jars of water and you are filling what was once empty with a completely full one. She is losing bits and pieces of herself. And I think in that moment, it flashes back for the briefest moment within a moment, flashing back to when the whole ceremony with Carmen and Yue happened, and your soul was splintered. Except it's not filling.
If I have the time, I would like to try to weave a net to catch her with.
Okay. And how are you doing this? Also, I posted in the Discord, can I bother you to up your mic a little bit more?
You could. You might just have to turn me up. I don't know how loud I am.
Okay.
Over there. So.
Go for it.
But yeah, there you go. So I think what I'm going to do is, I know that there's already a strand that I'm connected to Osani by. I would like to multiply that a few times.
Okay.
And try to like weave something around her to catch her and the pieces of her before they get too far away to
All right.
catch.
Why don't you go ahead and roll a spirit check for this?
Okay, a spirit check. Yikes. Okay, let me see how many inspiration dice we're going to use today.
Did you forget your dice?
I always have them near the desk, but I forgot to go get them. So here we are. Okay. That is a nat 20 for a total of 23 on the spirit check.
Nice. Okay. All right. What does it look like as you were casting this web?
So, like, bits of spirit energy come out from each of my fingers. And it looks like, if you were a person who was inclined to such a thing, it would look like the bars on a musical scale. Like, they come out from both hands and circle around to the back of her.
Okay.
Kind of making a lattice shape before they, like, kind of meld together and catch her.
Sure. You are easily able to do that. You can see it's not able to cut kind of the severance or between her thread and Aries, for instance, but it's able to weave itself around, kind of acting like the shell that you were trying to create. Seemingly to kind of not necessarily reinvigorate her, but add a bit of an assistance. 1000% you can do that.
Okay. And then just kind of through this, assuming that the threads are touching her, kind of try to communicate through those threads. Remember your training, and I think you'll be fine.
I think you just feel a rush of relief, not necessarily any words coming to mind, as it's taking all of her willpower just to be present and not lose herself into the confusion. But you do feel a surge of reassurance coming through from her.
I think at this point I take like a look around to figure out like where we are and if there is an end to get to how far we are from landing.
It's not necessarily like you're landing. You're still in this room, but everything has shifted. Not quite in the veil, but also not quite within the kind of recesses of the shift weave or something like that. This seems to be a slightly altered version of the room itself. In fact, you can see kind of almost moving in slow motion Volania as she is running past you towards Aries' side. The only things that are moving in real time for you in this moment are you, Astani, and the kind of shift portion that is Diodora in this. So the rest of it is just looking like a darker kind of twisted version of what everything looked like before.
Okay. Do I see Aerie in all of this?
Aerie is still on that bed. They're just kind of straining, and you can see the kind of wet, not bandages because they weren't tied, but the cloths that were kind of maybe doing the poultice that was there before, kind of shifting every now and then as they are straining and moving in this moment, trying to pull away. But that sparrow arrow is currently still lodged in, but you can see it slowly disappearing, almost like it's on, not necessarily a timer, but you know you're not going to have a lot of time.
Okay. So looking at Aerie in the room, kind of take a moment to assess what her condition is from now that we're on the inside, guess how things look from the inside before I do anything. As I imagine, this is a delicate situation and we want to proceed with caution, or we might ruin something.
Sure.
Or somehow make the situation worse.
Can you go ahead and roll another spirit check for me, please?
Okay. That is a 17.
17.
So I am going to throw in another D. I'm going to throw in one of our first inspiration die of the day.
Hell yeah.
Okay. That 17 is now a 28. So I rolled an 11 on that 12. So tell me the things.
Okay. So with this, you see Aerie. You see her both in body, but also spirit of what remains of it, rather. Body-wise, she looks like she's been through hell. Bags under her eyes, very pale of skin. It looks like a portion of her horns, as she is a tiefling, have been ripped off completely. She's got these massive scars going down almost symbolically down her face. You can see that there are boils of where perhaps her head or neck was placed up against something very hot. So there are boils and burns that are just looking very infected. She looks very pale. Her arms from the elbow down are purple and black, and with that kind of vine markings all around them. Again, referencing to that spell that backfired. Their spirit is in shreds. Normally, when you see a figure spirit, their soul, it is present and manifest not only within their entire body, but also the surrounding area. It's their aura, right? This instead looks like someone took an eraser, but also an open flame. And from her elbow upwards just looks like scratch marks have been placed. You can see, similar to Astani, it's being siphoned into that black hole. You can see everything starting to become more and more translucent. She does not have a lot of time. If she stays in this current state, probably a few days. So, to give you that idea.
Now, I know that we have to do something with the Bone Weaver, but
While you think on that, I will actually jump over. You good?
I'm good. I had to go find the thing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna shift if you weren't ready. I'm all ready to go.
Oh no, we're prepared.
Okay.
I might have to ask you a question though, but hold that thought. Aerie, can you hear me in here?
you just hear screaming in response.
Well,
And from
it
what you
seemed
can
it's-
gather, I'll say this, from what you can gather from just the briefest of connection, this is a mind that has almost shattered. This is a mind that has been through countless pain after pain after pain. And even now, your voice entering into their mind is painful. For those of us who get overstimulated, it's literally just another torch in the fire.
Well, I suppose these are desperate times and they call for desperate measures. So, I would like to know if I can if I can do a thing. I know I have like a kind of like a unique ability to do this sort of thing, but I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
I would like to combine two spells. One of them is a healing spell, and one of them is and like infuse that with spirit magic with the idea, but the idea is something to the equivalent of I need to or want to know if she is basically what her level of fight is against this, whether I need to persuade her to continue like fighting back against this like influence trying to eat her in her existence or not.
Sure. Okay.
Right? So I don't know if this is a persuasion or if this is something I just need to pass along through the thing I'm trying to do.
Why don't we play it as you passing it along through the thing you're trying to do? Because I think that makes more sense.
Okay, then I am going to use that special ability you got because I feel like this is just such an occasion.
Okay.
I would like to take spirit energy and I would like to combine it with, do you want me to tell you what the spell is in secret or out loud?
You would say it out loud because I feel like that's more fun.
Okay, I want to take spirit energy and I want to weave it into a regeneration spell.
Ooh, okay. All right. Why don't you with this? Let's do an Arcana check. The DC, and you can add your spirit. But the DC, in order to do this, because this is intricate, you have to do this so it doesn't shatter. Something too, it's like you're trying to find a balance. Too much is not going to work. Too little is obviously not going to last. The DC for this is going to be a 24.
Okay. For Arcana plus Spirit?
Yes.
Okay. So on the die, I have rolled a 14.
Okay.
My Arcana has a modifier of 11.
Oh, yes.
So that's a 25.
Perfect.
This plus Spirit is 28.
Good.
So we're here.
Good. That's perfection. Okay. Yeah, it's just because you're needling that thread, right?
Oh, I mean, it's a precise thing.
It's very precise. You are, but I think it makes sense too with Blackstone's ability, right, of weaving spirit back together. That is an innate ability that you have. So yes, totally makes sense. What does it look like as you're doing this?
So there is the kind of indigo energy that is Rory's, and then I weave that in with what I believe this healing magic would be. It's regenerative, so something like nature. It's a springtime green.
Love it. Okay.
If this actually, I think this is the thing that makes the most sense to do. In that room, I weave those things together and they take the shape of a large blanket and I put the blanket on Aerie.
Gotcha. Okay. I think in real time, we're at that point, Villani has just gotten to Aerie as the blanket is also cast. And you see for a moment her eyes almost connecting because she can see things, but everything is like sketches to her. She does not see everything clearly because she's duly here, but also duly elsewhere. So you see her lock eyes on the blanket as it's slowly resting upon Aerie and look in your direction with a look of like, okay, but also, what the fuck? At the same time. Like, just concern as she is trying to hold her, and you see her, again, slow motion looking past you towards the door, and she seems to be yelling something that you're not quite hearing. Okay.
But yeah, that's the big thing.
Sure.
That
That
I
is your
do.
anchor. And we'll hold off on the second part because we're going to shift over to Deodora with this. So, Deodora, you grabbed... Sorry, let's retake that. Deodora, the armor grabs your attention and left you that singular strand to stay connected with Rory and Astani. You find yourself surrounded by layers of shadow and shiftweave, which had just made you experience shiftweave after shiftweavian life being taken by burnt hands. You can feel in your connection to Rory and Astani that Rory, his spark is strong, while Astani seems to be shifting, moving, being pulled elsewhere. You can sense that Sparky is with her as well. You find yourself at the black and silver lines of where the veil and the shiftweave meet, at the very boundaries of their domains, expanding ever around you. Deodora, what do you do?
Oh, I'm already unmuted. Okay. Okay, I feel all this going on, but I also have like an opportunity to sort of travel through these different lives and learn more, correct?
Correct. Yes, you do.
I feel that Rory's spark really strong, and I think as much as she wants to go back, as much as I want to go back, I have to believe that Rory has this.
Sure.
Rory's got this. Rory and Blackstone, they can handle this.
Okay.
I think I want to walk on the border between the shiftweave and the veil and move into the past.
Okay. You walk along that border, lines upon lines, and you see almost like feathers branching off from the armor itself. Realizing that from these branches, leaves, no, feathers. And from these feathers, you can see that 4 are laid on the branches. Which of these feathers do you take?
Is there any difference between them?
Some look newer, like new leaves that are fresh, and others look much frailer, I would say. The frailest of them is one that juts out from your kind of left hip area. And the freshest one comes off of your chest plate right above where your heart sits.
I think there's an immediate instinct to go for the fresher one, the one that I don't have to be as delicate with.
Sure.
But then...
Okay.
I'm not done.
I know, I realized this. I was like, oh, okay.
But then I think I want to carefully reach for the frailest one.
Okay. Can you make a shiftweave check for me, please?
Sure. I guess. If you insist.
I ask kindly.
Okay, hold on. My shiftweave bonus is... Where are you? 4. Okay. Which die's not gonna fuck up today. I'm gonna use inspiration. Where are you? Okay. Not great. That's just a 13.
Okay. Describe what it looks like as you make that connection with that specific feather, and it doesn't crumble completely, but sides of it seem to disintegrate off like very dried leaves almost.
I think almost as soon as I touch it and I see it starts to crumble, there's panic. Because this isn't what I wanted. I wanted to be delicate, to be careful, but I realize I'm wearing like these gauntlets and they are not designed to be used delicately and to handle things delicately. I think, yeah, I just like do my best to sort of cradle this feather like in my palms and try to gain whatever insight I can from it before it disintegrates.
A life comes flashing through yours. Very much like the cliche of seeing a life flash before your eyes before you die. And a name sticks with you, Ziamara. You see at the beginning her end. You see she was on a battlefield, hair long, braided in 1,000 braids upon itself with mantles of gold and silver interlocked, skin the color of alabaster stone, and bright, kind eyes. She looked like she was probably not much older than you. She had been with this armor, it looks like 13 years. 13 moons. She faced the burned hands man. And while she was able to survive beyond it, it wasn't long before she succumbed to her injuries, in fact, coming from her left side, where it looked like a poisoned dagger had been stabbed into her stomach. Finding herself in a land foreign to you, surrounded by ocean and massive archways of stone, strange markings, but also at the same time, and I think it takes you a minute to connect. Can you roll a history check for me, please?
Sure.
And yes, you can add your shift weave to it because you are using shift weaving in memory for this.
Oh my god, I'm gonna use another inspiration. For fuck's sake. Okay. You say I can add my shift weave?
Yes.
Okay. That's a dirty 20.
Okay. You can see after a minute the kind of design work, the inlays of architecture, and some of the symbols are very reminiscent of your time in Felk, specifically when you were moving through those dungeons. Finding that
it looks like the Unitel.
Very similar, not quite, perhaps maybe a different not empire, but group, town, place, origin. But very similar in style, so probably around the same time frame that the Unitel and all of that was vibrant. Thousands and thousands of years ago at this point. And with that, you feel a presence in her mind that is incredibly innocent for their age. Just wanting to continue to do good and leave good behind them. And that fear that what they did wasn't enough. That they had been here, placed here, in a name that doesn't have a translation in Shiftweavian. And in fact, just sounds like noise upon your ears. They had been sent here to pick up where the last champion had left off. Something about OS, with that check, the Ouroboros Society, strong. A journal comes into your mind. A druid's journal. Torn, frayed, and on the sides, you can actually see plant life coming out. Perhaps this was a ward, a friend of hers, the face of a young man, probably 9, 10 years old. Learning to study enters her mind. These are all thoughts that she's having as she is drifting into the unknown. But the name on that journal, Belsarian.
I can read it.
You can read it.
It's
written in.
Ask.
Yep, no, that's fair. It is written in the undertones of Shiftweavian.
So, based on that, the journal that she's thinking about is Belsarian's journal, and somebody that she knew.
And
How is she thinking of, like, she's thinking about this journal, thinking about this boy that she used to know. Is there like fondness? Is there like
Yes.
some kind of bitterness too? Okay.
It is all fondness. You can see
Okay.
as the memories are flowing through, she seems to have been like a motherly mentor figure to them. As you also see portions of Belsarian's life up into this point play, of her finding him as she was moving around Ampistrano, an orphan, being torn apart by the war that was being ravaged, sides turning against sides, and unable to really have a place to stay, and not wanting to part with this soul who seemed to have a very deep connection with her. She helped mentor. She helped grow, latching on to his fondness for nature and the environment around. And her regret that she would not be able to see what he becomes, but hoping beyond hope that he stays safe, and that one day the world will be better than how she is leaving it. But the name Belsarian rings a bell to you.
Mm-hmm. Didn't we find some of his journals in the Unitel?
And you fought him.
Yeah.
He is the reason Diodora had a death certificate, essentially.
I think Theodora knows that this is just a memory. But I think when Xiomara thinks, like, I hope what I did was enough, not about Belsarian, but just like in her life in general, I think the first thing that comes to Theodora's mind is, you did something and that is enough. Like, you did something, whereas a lot of people would do nothing. And then when the thoughts turn to Belsarian, and she sees the child version of him, the seeming innocence of him. It's not that I'm not sympathizing with him.
No.
But it's that weird dichotomy of I know what he became and what he's done, but seeing him as a kid, you can't help but wonder exactly what happened to turn him into what I know he became. It's not necessarily like sympathy or anything, it's just like curiosity, I guess. More so like wanting to understand, because here, like, was it the loss of this mother figure? Was it something else? Like, was it just the war in general, like, that turned him? Like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, but at the same time, it's like, but you allowed yourself to become that.
Sure.
Instead of like wanting to, and maybe in his mind, he thought he was maybe doing better, but it's like a hurt people situation for her. And so it's just like, she's just like intrigued, but also maybe a little disgusted by him.
Yeah.
Even more because you had this, and yes, you lost it, but that's not a good reason for you to turn.
Yeah.
And then also, I think there's a part of her that's like, did he kill her? Like in her mind.
Sure. You see, paired with these memories, she didn't have a choice in this armor. War was happening, and at that time, the tribe was without a champion. So they were forcing individuals to don the armor, and the armor is very picky and it doesn't reject. So those it does not accept, it consumes. Reinforcing.
Definitely a shock to
Yeah.
Theodora.
Yeah.
Definitely shocking.
It was a different time, and different people were in charge, and fear was running rampant. But you do see that she seems to struggle with that fact that the armor chose her for whatever reason. She, up until the point that she was chosen, had lived a pretty chill life. She was the daughter of a artist, her mother, and her dad was a pottery merchant traveling all over. No history of fight or battle within her, but wanting to continue to tell stories of the shift weave and otherwise, that's all that was ingrained in her. Her sister had also donned the armor, but had not been chosen. So feeling that guilt that shadowed her every step of the way. A name that the shift weave not necessarily has forgotten, because it remembers all, but because of time being worn away, that name has gotten lost amongst the others.
Mm-hmm. The others said it's consumed.
Others that have been consumed, but also the others is accepted, the others that have passed on, and those that are yet to come. And that name
but
might live on
sacrifices either way.
Yeah.
Definitely feel a little conflicted about the armor, even more so now, just because of its origins and just like, no, I think in her head she like kind of like, and maybe even she says this out loud to the armor, like, I understand why you needed a champion, but I don't understand why you needed so many sacrifices. People deserve to have a choice. I'm about to train this armor too. I'm gonna train all the animals in the armor too. Like, what's up, bitch? Like, what's up, boot camp? We don't like it is whatever fucking year it is in this world, and we do not do that, okay? Like, welcome to the modern era of this world.
Can you go ahead and roll a shift weave check for make it a savings throw.
So what am I adding to that? What kind of saving throw?
Your specific one should be 6.
6, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm rolling like dog shit today. Using inspiration again.
Go for
it. Plus 6. 18.
Okay. You feel for a second as that conflicting kind of feeling kind of settles in your chest. And then you actually see it spiral out almost like another feather. Deodora, what would your feathers look like?
Well, I've never thought about this because I just don't think about feathers at all. But I like, are the feathers that are already poking out of me, are they like, they're like dark feathers?
Dark, some Ziamara's is like a dark navy with, you see flecks of brown and gold, almost like paint and clay, kind of interwoven.
Okay. I think Deodora's feather is also, I think, because they're like, these are like shift weave feathers, so it's still dark like the shift weave. I think it's like, you know how like a raven or a crow's feather, like it looks black, but then when the light hits it, it's actually, there's actually like colors.
Yes.
Like similar to how the shift weave looks. I think Deodora's looks like that, except when the light hits it, it's like a forest green.
Love it.
Like color. And then with maybe like hints of like flecks of like amber, gold, like brown, like very earthy sort of tones. Yeah, I think that's what it looks like.
Your feather spirals down to meet Ziamara's. And you can see that that's where, to the branch, you can see that there was almost like a crack in the armor. And as soon as your feather, it's almost like a soothing balm. It doesn't mend the scar away. That scar will always be there. But you do see that it stops straining as gold. It's not as vibrant and or as bright where the scar was. And as the two feathers meet, they instead kind of interweave themselves within the armor. And at that moment, you feel a tug, a gentle one, on your hand. Behind, like someone's walking behind you and kind of reaching out.
Yeah. I look. Do I see anyone?
You see a small girl, long black hair, vibrant eyes. She looks maybe 5 or 6. And it takes you a moment to realize this is a much younger Ziamara walking with you now. And she's just smiling.
Yeah, I let her lead me to wherever she wants to take me.
Oh, she's following your lead.
Oh, she's following me.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay.
Yep, she is following your lead.
In that case, I think I will turn around to face her and like crouch down to be on her level.
Sure.
Because I don't want to, like, this is a child, and I want to make sure that they know that, like, even though you are younger than me in this moment, we are also, like, I don't see you as lesser. You're, like, we are equals here, regardless of age or size. And I say, it's good to meet you. Stay behind me, okay? I'll protect you.
I'm with you, is all you hear back. And her eyes going wide and big, the size of saucers, much like a child does when they're just enamored or meeting their hero for their first time. And she kind of gives a little twirl as you're kind of holding her hand. Her kind of plain cloth kind of dancing in this wind she's making herself. And she follows you as you walk.
You said she's like 5?
Mm-hmm.
Ish.
Mm-hmm.
I think Deodora will just carry her.
Okay. Are you gonna piggyback or like carry her?
No, on my hip.
Okay, cool.
You know, like a toddler, like on my hip.
There's so many different ways, so that's why I was like, I don't know. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She.
Because like, I mean, I think Theodora's instinct would be to have her on her hips, just so like she can clearly see everything and maybe again feel like we're both kind of equal, instead of her being like behind me. You know?
Yeah. No, I like that. And you two walk as the camera pans back to the Strand. And in this time, Vilania has her hands full. She is moving around quickly, trying to help Aerie, who in this moment is in throes of pain. You can see at this moment there are droplets of blood, and you would see this too, Rory. You would see droplets of blood coming from her eyes and her nose as the strain of everything is starting to take more of an effect. But what you are doing with that blanket settling in on her is also attempting to stabilize everything in this moment. Vilania moving in slow motion, you see kind of holding her hands out, almost looking like she's trying to defend Aerie against you, Rory. But instead, you see kind of moving slowly as she has come running into the room is Clara, Aerie's mother, come in to help as Aerie has also started to kind of kick their legs up in some kind of fit. And Rory, you had mentioned there was another thing you wanted to do.
One moment.
You are good.
Okay, there we go. Just wanted to put that there for your enjoyment in the Discord.
Thank you. I will look at that later.
So, looking at this, I just kind of go, okay, now, considering the spell that I used, I think it'll buy us a little bit more time. I have to admit, this is kind of exciting. Haven't really been able to put together that powerful spell with spirit magic before, so hopefully that'll do the thing that I hope it does, but it kind of depends on her. At least the spirit portion of it doing its job kind of depends on her cooperating with its magic and wanting to continue to be here and exist. And that's kind of the musing that he has to himself.
Can you make a persuasion roll, actually? Persuasion or like if you're trying to intimidate, like, I don't know how, like what exactly this is going to look like. And we can play that out.
Oh yeah, because like if I were doing intimidation would be just me being house MD and being like, this is what's going to happen if you don't listen, so you better get into it. And we don't want to do that. Okay. Now, I am going to say, while I can be mildly persuasive, this is a special situation, and therefore we are in fact breaking out yet another inspiration die. Yeah. Okay, so the persuasion here is a total of 24.
24. Okay. How are you persuading?
That was the part I was asking about earlier because I couldn't communicate. So I think these are the feelings that reached through her through the spirit part of the spell.
Okay.
And I explained what the spell, I explained what this blanket is for. So, hold on.
You're good. There's a lot happening, I know.
Aerie, I understand that this is going to be difficult to process, but I want you to try to focus on the sound of my voice. It is calm and measured and comforting. And what I have lent you is a bit of magic to help you to heal, rather than letting this affliction consume you. However, on your part, I need you to focus on the things and the people that you love that made you want to survive long enough to make it back to the Strand.
Okay.
The love of your mother, the care of your current caretaker, and the kindness of 3 strangers who are also here to help you, if you would have them.
You don't feel anything, but you do see her eyes as she's kind of turning to the side as her mother has entered the frame, move again in slow motion to lock on you with just this almost wild animal fight or flight kind of expression on her face, but locked in on you.
We do not mean you harm, and we will not do you harm.
And you see at that moment, the blanket is on her. Her eyes are on you. The arm she raises up almost to like do an attack. Instead, you see her kind of spirit coming out of her body for a second. Not cleanly. It's almost like slime. Like her very being is being whittled down into nothing, not a solid, not something vibrant, but an ooze. And kind of lashing out, elbow towards Clara and Melania at this moment. And Melania, you see, kind of holding up a hand, immediately getting in front of Clara, holding that off as seconds later, her arm does come up and just gets caught. Again, eyes are never leaving you, but the pull of oblivion seems to be swaying the ship that she is currently on even more. You're the anchor. She is anchored. She is locked in on you. But the tides of chaos and fear and worry and starving and hunger, all of this is flooding your senses too. And you can see at this moment, it's flooded Astani as well, who is looking extremely pale. You can see actually portions of her skin underneath the armor and stuff is looking like almost like she's severely dehydrated. You can see veins starting to sick out, not vibrant red, but almost like a sickly black and green. As again, more of her, even though, yes, you did give that cocoon, unfortunately Mott's rolled low on this, as more of her kind of spirit was siphoned in.
So, on that note, our understanding of this as a spirit energy, as kind of a measure of your ability, like your mental health and things like that, in addition to other things.
Correct.
So I would like to make a roll, and you can tell me what the roll is, a
Okay.
save of some kind, to help, like, seeing the emotions that are coming through. I would like to help co-regulate them.
Okay. You want to moderate their systems, essentially?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where, because it's being described as like just a tide of emotions,
Yes.
I think there is, if I'm going to be the anchor, then I think part of being that anchor would be being able to hold space for all of it without it drowning me too.
Sure.
So how do we do that?
That would be... Let's do a wisdom save.
Okay.
Yeah, wisdom save. You can add your spirit to it. The DC...
Wait. Oh, the spirit save modifier. Okay.
Yes. The DC for this will be a 25 because now you are regulating systems.
Then I'm pleased to tell you that that is a 19 on the
Oh,
die.
hell yeah.
And my modifier for spirit saves. Oh wait, hold on, for wisdom saves.
Yes.
Basically the wisdom save plus the spirit save modifier, all the modifiers and stuff, it ends up being a total of 29.
Oh, hell yes. Okay. What does it look like as you are regulating this input and output? What does it look like?
As the information comes in, it just comes in for me as a flood of data that is difficult to process. So I start reshaping the data and organizing it in a way that I can understand so I can respond to it. It turns from, it's like I imagine all of this coming in as like flashes and images and things, and me turning that into lists of words and descriptors that can be like read by people and organized in bullet points and things like that. And so it just starts turning into what look like file icons on a computer screen.
Oh, I love that. Okay. I love it.
And I think a lot like being on a computer screen, there's like a preview image of this. So all of these have images that go with all the emotions that they're attached to, but they're things I can look at and open as I need to open them. But this is organized. Now this you can be by alphabet, by date, by time, or any of these things. But this is stuff that I just have space for.
I love it. Okay. All of those systems, all the information coming in. And you're, again, reminder, you're regulating yours, Astani's, and Aries, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So kind of basically trying to keep everybody from like through, and like for me and Astani especially, because this is already like a lot on her in the first place.
Yeah. She's getting thrown into it, yeah.
Trying to just balance things out enough to keep everybody from drowning in it. And I think what Ari feels through our connection is not a, hey, try to think about this positively, but that maybe if for the first time it's one of those, regardless of the many things that are coming through, all of this is fine. There's a place for all of this.
Sure. Okay. I think at this moment, would Rory read things typically when doing these kinds of experimentations in percentages, or?
Oh, when you say like the process of trying to file all of it away?
Yeah.
I think there might be a bar somewhere that kind of looks like the copy and paste kind of thing that you get when you try to copy and paste a bunch of things on your computer and get a little thing that says there is this much to process and you have processed this much. So I think like a percentage bar might make sense here.
Okay. Percentage bar. For yours, you haven't, this is definitely a strain, but it's not, you're weathered against this. You've dealt with this before. Right now, it's kind of stretching your muscles with using some abilities and things that you hadn't used before or in a long time. So I would say yours is probably 90, 92, looking good. Astani's is a little bit rougher. She's got the assistance of you. She's got the assistance of Sparky, but hers dropped to 70%. And then Aerie is the most abysmal. Aerie's at 10%. These are the death throes of a spirit's dredges.
Okay, so it's just kind of like, that's what capacity looks like. You have like about this much going on.
Yeah.
Or like this much that you have space for.
Your spark of vitality is what comes to mind, I think.
Okay, so this is this is like, I guess in as much as spirit energy goes, this is like an HP bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can see, like, essentially, I think that idea of when a person is at death's door, that whole kind of idea of someone gets super strength or super speed or whatever, that inane ability that comes out to get anime from it, to plus ultra something, essentially, to push yourself beyond the barriers. That's where Aerie is at the threshold. She's not at it just yet. You can kind of see the marker of when that dips down to 5%, but she is very much an animal clinging to life in this moment.
Okay. My question is, looking at that information, is there a charging bar? Now, like, because if we were like to follow kind of like the metaphor of this visual, that's what that blanket would be.
Yes.
You are at like 10% capacity, so you're in like critical red marker, but there's also like a little lightning symbol because there's something trying to restore that energy.
Yes. The problem is, and you can see it, it's almost like when you're looking at something that's loading and the bar is blinking for like where it's at. You can see it getting stronger and then at the same time almost being not completely taken away, but your cloak that you have placed, your blanket, is doing at this point the same input as the black hole is draining. So it's not quite canceling out, but because you rolled so well, it's not, you're slightly faster and doing slightly more, but it's still.
But the progress
right
is also really slow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's much like if you were thinking of this again in percentages, and it's funny because I'm not a math guy at all, but like essentially, you think that maybe if this were to keep going, they would get a percentage point once every hour, as long as other things are not shifted or changed, which isn't great, but isn't awful. You know, it could be worse. So that's where you're kind of playing with.
And I feel like that's fair. I feel like it's not like I thought this would dramatically be a much different thing, but like gaining in any way is far better than continuing to lose. So slowing that down is important.
But again, it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid over a gunshot wound. It's not going to solve everything, for sure.
And that's understandable. There is a part of me that is happy that that's how that it worked out well, but feels a bit of a way because I didn't get to ask her if that's what she wanted. So I think there's one of those. As far as I understand, this is as much as I'm able to do. So I communicate to her through our connection. My friends and I know a way to reverse this curse upon you. And it will take us a couple of days to gather the materials. I need you to continue to fight as you have until then.
I think, again, eyes just almost branding themselves within you. Like, you've seen many things across your travels and across your time in Ampistrano proper and across many an age. This is someone who found a life preserver and is not letting go. They're locked on you. You can see that connection. And I think instead of any kind of verbal response, you get a mental image instead. Can you roll? Can you roll an investigation check?
Investigation?
Yes.
Ew, gross, but okay. Do you want me to tell you what number's on this die?
Is it good or is it bad?
It is the best possible number you can have on a die.
Okay.
It's a 20 is what I would like to report to the class.
Okay. Listen, you've messed with me with dice rolls before, so that's why I'm like, I am waiting for confirmation before I celebrate, okay?
Yeah, so that's... something... Dear dice everywhere, if you had to pick a day to give me the amount of nat 20s you have, thank you for doing it in this very critical moment.
Okay. So in total, what is your score?
For investigation is a total of 23.
Okay, that is exactly what you needed.
Okay.
You get an image in your mind of it shows what looks to be at first almost like a field littered with flowers and stones. Not stones, graves. Inlaid where each of the graves are, you can see very translucent lines. And you realize she's drawing you a map of perhaps where she was initially taken. You see through the graveyard district, through the actual cemetery, a grand mausoleum that stands beyond and right by almost like this gated portion of the cemetery, a locked portion of a cemetery. The mausoleum, the doorway opening. A name, family name, etched on to the side of the mausoleum itself, carved within that stone. A family has lived here for a long time. What languages do you speak and know?
Common, Felkian, Primordial, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay. Can you do an Arcana check?
I can. Just for safety. Okay, that is a total of 20.
20. You can tell that while you can't see completely through this, and again, this is also from Aries' perspective as well, that they were not necessarily able to pick up on it either. But it seems like the name that's on the mausoleum might have been magicked. Forcina, Forscina, is what is shown on the mausoleum. But something else is written underneath, and something that wants to be hidden. You can see through the mausoleum doors, down a set of stairs, is the crypt itself. There is a massive coffin in the very center of the room, possibly the founder of this family that was buried here ages and ages ago. The entire mausoleum itself lined with what appears like almost drawers or plaques displaying various names over the past hundreds and hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
And amongst this kind of graying portion, you can see that there is a marker on this particular stone tomb. And by possibly pushing that, leads you down a stairway. There's no body there. Instead, you feel almost like you're there for a moment. The very damp, stagnant air. The entrance to the catacombs.
I have a question.
Sure.
I would like to make a history check
Okay.
because this is a place that I've lived before. We
Yeah.
had to have a lot of odd adventures here. I would like to make a roll to see if this place that's being described is a place that Blackstone remembers.
I can tell you right now, no.
No.
I'm not even going to make you roll
Okay.
for it. This specific section, no. If you want to roll
Okay.
in to tell if Blackstone or Rory would know of other spots to get through the catacombs, sure. Totally will allow that. But this specific section, no.
Ari draws me this map, and I think there is an increasing sense of curiosity about what Ari is telling me this information for. I don't know if or how she responds, but there's definitely I guess I will go look and hope that I find what you're looking for.
And you do feel Aries start to respond as another set of images enter your mind. But the camera's going to shift again back to Deodora. Deodora, which of
Yes.
you are moving forward with Xiomara in this time, in this moment, walking? She, at this moment, if you'll allow her, because she does ask permission, because she is all about consent, she starts to play with your hair, kind of braiding it at the ends, doing the thing of just like, is looking around, looking at you every so often.
I think I established at the beginning of the season that Deodora actually got rid of her dreads. So she has like a short cropped,
She will,
like fro
Yeah.
going on.
she will attempt to braid little bits of it though.
Okay, that's fine. Deodora's used to like little kids, like basically using her as a jungle gym, I guess, and like playing with, messing around with hair. She's like just back at like with her tribe, just like kind of sitting there and taking it, just like whatever.
You have 3 of those feathers and those branches sticking out of you. One from your
think-
chest.
Mhm.
You already worked with Xiomara's, which was on your left hip. There's one, like I said, coming out of your chest, just above your heart. There's one that is just above your right kneecap as well.
So originally I was going to go for like the freshest looking one next, but based on what I saw with the oldest one, and kind of like as I'm getting to understand the armor a bit and knowing that like so many people have worn this armor or attempted to wear this armor and have been forgotten, I think I want to go for the second oldest one.
Okay. Can you
see if I can reclaim a name.
Sure. Can you go ahead and do that? Another spirit or shift weave check, rather. Sorry. Shift weave check to see if you can get it.
Okay, so much better. Don't have to use inspiration this time. That's gonna be an 18.
Okay. Your hand slowly, like a wind against a leaf itself, goes towards the one that's above your kneecap. This one you can see almost looks splintered in two. A name pops up. Ronnie. Rauni. You see a older woman. She looks like she's 60s, maybe 70s. Silver and white hair. Shorter than how you have it currently. Wearing, along with this armor, some kind of, not tiara, headpiece. It takes you a second to realize that it's very similar, but not quite the headpiece that Indigo sometimes dons during formal ceremonies, addressing the tribe at large. A silvered kind of band that goes across with
Like a circlet.
Yes, thank you. I was struggling with the words. Going across, blending in with the silver of their hair. And you can see in this moment, again, her final moments, as she has just taken a stab through that wound. That same wound just above the kneecap. And you feel as you take a step forward, almost like that's happening for you for a split second. Kind eyes, bright blue, but tired. She's been fighting for so long. But not wanting to give up, whether that's out of spite or because she doesn't know anything else.
Same thing. Same thing.
Yep. Doesn't know anything else. She got the armor shortly after Ziamara, who you learn through Ronnie that... Here, let me take it back for a second. I want to reset that. What comes to mind as you're seeing Ronnie's images and life flash forwards, backwards, moving all around. She was a storyteller. One of the noted in the Shiftweavian tribe to continue telling the memories of those that have passed on for those that are to come ahead. She tells the story of how the Shiftweave armor came to be. That once the... God damn it, Fair. She tells the story of how the Shiftweave armor came to be. That the Shiftweave, a group of 3, bonded specifically with this tribe that had been moving all over Ampistrano. A tribe that didn't judge, but sought to understand and maintain peace wherever it could. The story goes that one of the Shiftweave itself took more of a liking to the tribe, wanted to cloak it under their protection. And so the Shiftweave cut a portion of their coat a cloak to keep them safe, hidden when needed. And that cloak was past, forged by time. And you do see the image comes to mind. It's just a simple blanket that was formed. But as each person wore it, as you see it passing from child to young adult to elderly, each time it shifts and changes, taking on aspects of those that wore it. For you always leave something behind. And through the war, through the age of just living, it was forged into something else. And you see Ronnie in this moment as she's telling a number of Shiftweavian children. You sense a spark of anger as the memory of Ziamara comes to mind, who's kind of paused and she's just watching everything, because this is both something she's seen but also hasn't. And that spark of anger as Ronnie looks across the circle of enamored children to the back, where you do see in shadow leaders of the tribe itself. Those same leaders that forced many to wear this armor. That turned something that was a gift into a death sentence, essentially. A curse. All to find a champion. She chose to don the armor. She wasn't forced like Ziamara was. But that vow. And you realize as these words enter her mind, they're repeated of the same words the champion spoke to you originally back in your vision just a day or two ago. It has to be your choice. A path is walked. A choice was made. That will, almost like thread, stitching the armor together, and has stayed with that armor for thousands of years. No other wielder of this armor has been forced to wear it. Can you roll another shift weave check for me, please?
I'll use inspiration again.
Sure.
Because I feel this is very important. 22.
22. You see flashes. That same boy that was in Ziamara's memories. Belsarian, younger. Now slightly older. Probably 14, 15. You get from her the relationship, while not as close as she was with Ziamara was, and fond, felt a responsibility to kind of keep an eye on him at least. So all throughout her travels, constantly coming back to, at this point, he's old enough to kind of start venturing off on his own a little bit. But a sense of responsibility nonetheless. Not warm, but not cold. Just kind of there. And you see him finding his way. You see him as over the course of the years, him growing older until he's in his 20s. starting to take his place in the world as a druid, and eventually for his own community, for his own town, starting to take on more of a responsibility when it comes to healing before finally settling down in Vibran. Which
I have a clarifying question, sorry.
yes, of course.
Because you said him taking more of a lead in healing in his... Do you mean like the village that he was originally from, or the Shiftweave tribe that he found himself in?
New village that he moved from. He was with the Shiftweave when
Okay,
he was
so he... Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
All
sorry,
right.
I apologize. I wasn't clear. But yes, so he was basically with the Shiftweave for a time, and then he moved to, because he didn't necessarily belong. And when Ziamara died, he didn't have a home, per se.
Is it he didn't belong because nobody would accept him, or is it that he didn't try to integrate himself?
Both.
Okay.
You get the sense of both. So he settles down in what later becomes Vibran, building that town from scratch, watching plank by plank being placed, actually looking nicer in the memory than you remember actually when you visited, truthfully. But then Ronnie gets called away. A visit missed. She always made a point to visit him once every year on her travels, just to check in. But this time, her attention was drawn elsewhere. She was called instead, and you can kind of see almost like a map forming in your mind. An area north, not the north itself, but in today's world, you know, it's a land of just ice and a constant vortex moving of a storm that has not stopped in this specific area for years. She was called to that, and so she headed in that direction. I need you to make another Shiftweave check. With this, you can see that it's both her doubting herself on the memory, and maybe it's her mind trying to protect itself from that, or someone else might be manipulating the memory.
19.
19.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
You said there's a storm up in the north, like this icy continent or whatever.
Yes.
Has the storm, was the storm raging when Ronnie was alive and headed over there, or did it happen after? Okay, it was.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It spawned when she was alive.
It spawned when she was alive.
Mm-hmm. Was not there
Did
before.
it spawn when she died?
No.
No? Okay.
No. But it is a reason why she went to this place. Which again has a name that sounds just like a garble of words in your ears, truthfully. Kind of the idea of like Vanya may not have the same name anymore. But an image comes to mind of someone wrapped in shadow and Shiftweave. You don't see them, but you see their silhouette. Shadow, looking about 4 or 5 feet tall. Looks human. But the thing that gets you as the blade goes through the upper part of Ronnie's knee, and in this moment your knee, the figure's crying. Bright red irisless eyes, crying tears.
You mean pupilless?
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry. Words are so hard for me today. I'm so sorry. Pupilless
Well, I mean,
eyes.
I was just like, is the no pupils or is just all sclera?
No,
So I guess
it
that's
is
what, so.
pupilless eyes. Thank you.
Okay.
Crying.
And
And
they're
the-
crying.
And the tears are hitting your cheek. And
Hitting
Ronnie's-
my cheek?
In this moment, you're Ronnie.
Oh, because I'm Ronnie. Okay, I was like, what?
What? What did I do?
Am I the murderer?
No. But in this moment, you were Ronnie, hitting Ronnie's and yours cheeks as she's kind of staring down at you and driving this blade. And the impact, one minute you're there on the ground, and the next you're practically buried as the aftershock of this blade hits. And it, almost like an explosion, compounds you further into the earth.
Mhm.
And you feel
You
the
said
earth close
she?
around you.
For the murderer?
Mm-hmm. She.
And I can't see Ronnie couldn't see their face. But she saw the eyes.
Correct.
Were the eyes familiar to Ronnie?
With the 19, it's hard to say.
Okay.
Hard to say. I will give you this. There is a familiarity. But whether that comes from Ronnie or you in this moment, since the two are kind of blending, there's a familiarity. You or her, or both, have come across this person before.
Well, this is where me as a player, my memory fails, because this, like, you'd think that this would, wait, we've come across this. Did I come across this person in, like, my real life or in another vision?
Real life.
Okay.
The shift
think of it
weave
right
that's
now.
around them is familiar.
Shift weave that's around this person is familiar?
Mm-hmm. Darker. More alive and agile.
I'm, like, over here, like,
Do you want to do a history check? Real quick to see.
I guess.
Okay.
I do. I'll use inspiration. Okay. Dirty 20?
Dirty 20.
No. Yes, dirty 20.
Okay,
My
that's
history's full.
exactly what
Okay.
you needed. You remember not even a full day ago, Sparky getting alerted to an alleyway just outside the Boar's Hat.
Oh, okay.
And shift weave
So,
attacking you, playing with you.
okay. So it's the shift weave that I recognize, not the. I was thinking the person I
No.
recognize, the eyes I
The
recognize. I
shift
wasn't
weave.
thinking about
Someone's
the shift weave.
shadow you
Okay.
recognize, yeah.
Okay, so same person, so many years ago.
Yes.
But okay.
What?
No, I'm just like, this is me thinking, like
No,
me
it's
as a
good.
player thinking, just like, and we like this person alive, however long ago this was, which is like, this was pretty long ago, right?
Yep, this at this point is probably about 800-ish so years ago. So just before Rory and Blackstone and all of that.
And you said red pupilless eyes. Can I see their hands as they're stabbing into Rory? I mean,
Yes.
Ronnie.
Yes.
Are they burned?
No.
No.
Gloved.
Okay.
Gloved
Gloved.
and not black as night, but kind of similar to what you've mentioned before, like a raven's feathers.
So they're gloves, so I can't actually see their hands. I can only see that they're covered.
Correct. But you can feel their hands. Because the sword went through,
Yes.
but they weren't going in with both hands. One hand
Yeah,
is
just
on
like a-
Ronnie's, pushing them. And you can feel, even through the gloves themselves, it's smooth. Not burnt.
It's smooth. Okay. Okay. Is there a smell to them?
Smells like sulfur. Sulfur
what I thought.
and snow.
Okay. Sulfur and snow. Okay. And they're crying as they do this.
Yes.
Probably this might not be something that Ronnie could tell. But did it seem like they were doing this? Like they're crying. Does it seem like it's because they're doing this against their will or something?
Yes and no. You can sense that conflict behind their eyes based off of what you rolled. They're torn up about this. They're being driven to do it, reminiscent of Greenwich back in Illipin when the mark was manifesting. And in fact, you do see, as that kind of realization comes into your mind, on her neck, that same spiral with thorns branded into her. Greenwich fought back, though, against it. She seems to be flirting with it. Both wanting it, but not wanting it.
Okay.
The lines
Almost
are gray.
like maybe she signed up for it but didn't realize what she was signing up for or something like that.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
The thoughts you get from Ronnie with this. Fear. Stories have always been a way to keep that information alive. And in this case, this story needs to be told, and yet, unless someone else finds the armor, and that fear that someone who is wielding the shift weave might have and be chosen by the armor itself. Because the shift weave is neutral, it can choose anybody. That fear grips her. And she wonders if her story will be a story worth telling. And again, that same thread from Xiomara and the other champion you've met so far in your visions is did she do enough?
I think Deodora says the same thing that she said before with Xiomara is, you did enough because you did something. That is enough. And your story will be told. I think in this moment, Deodora realizes that at least with Ronnie and Xiomara, that at least for those two, the shift weave targeted people who were storytellers. Maybe more so for Xiomara, since like it was forced upon her, but Ronnie, the shift weave still has to accept people, and it accepted Ronnie when she willingly put the armor on.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess then that would make her wonder what's changed since then, because Theodora doesn't really see herself as a storyteller, you know? She's like, I'm kind of more of like a tip of the spear than a fucking quill.
Sure.
Yeah, they think, yeah, she's just takes Ronnie's story into herself the same way that she did with Xiomara.
And similarly, you see your same feather, another one forming and going to the scar of the armor just above the your right kneecap. And you can see that gold, almost like grain marking. And as your feather meets hers, which literally looks like it's been splintered into grayed and silver with flecks of white, again almost like paint, kind of interwoven. And as your two feathers meet, slowly, again, the scar will always be there, but slowly mending it to the point that your two portions and feathers are interwoven with that armor, reinforcing it. And at that moment, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you see a older woman, older than looking like Ronnie, probably truthfully pushing 100, kind of slowly following behind, very kind, same smile, same eyes that Ronnie had. She just gives you her face covered in wrinkles, probably what Ronnie would have looked like had she had a chance to live longer. And just that warmth seeping through the armor to you. She doesn't say anything, she just smiles.
I have Xiomara on my hip, and I think I crouch down so Granny could climb on my back.
She will look between the two of you with kind of this questioning look in her eyes. Are you sure about this, dear?
You carried other people's stories. It's time for me to carry you.
Take a point of inspiration for that shit. God damn it, Fair, that was good. He's like, no, I'm gonna forget. Okay. And she will very nimbly get up on your back, and it feels heavy. You are carrying her, but also the weight of the years on you. The weight of anger and frustration of higher ups not ever listening and making decisions in fear and without consideration of others.
I think it feels heavy initially, if you'll allow me to riff.
Sure, go for it.
But then I think that kind of feeling of frustration and anger sort of seeps in and melts with the frustration and anger that Diodora already feels about situations like that. So it's actually maybe not that heavy because it's a weight that Diodora carries already.
Yeah. And she just kind of sits there as you continue.
And I stand up and keep going, and I will move to take out the third oldest feather.
Okay. Can you roll a shift weave check with this?
Yep. Math.
Words.
17.
17.
Mm-hmm.
Your hands move to a small leaf. Truthfully, it looks almost like a pygmy leaf because it's almost like a scallop. It looks much smaller than the other ones. Looks truthfully like you could probably fit 12 of those in your own leaf. Golden, vibrant, streaked with red. And a name comes to mind. Elvar. E-L-V-A-R. As you see someone who it's kind of hard to tell outwardly if they are femme presenting or mass presenting. Silver eyes. The color of glaciers moving on an ocean with flecks of gold in them. Steel. They were another one that chose to wear this armor about 300 years or so after Ronnie, having found it in the glaciers just outside of the storm.
Where Ronnie died.
Mm-hmm. Seemingly it was so buried deep, and you do get a flash of memory that this kind of excavation had been done and the armor had been found, as well as Ronnie finally laid to rest properly. Elvar, with a loose connection to the Shiftweave, not as strong compared to Ziamara, Ronnie's, or yours. Wow. Yours.
You guys.
You guys. Oh, brain, why are you doing this to me today? To yours. But still open. Don the armor, wanting to see what would happen, not knowing the dangers of donning something so ancient, but instantly feeling connected. You see, at this moment, they are roughly in their mid-30s, I would say. Their wound coming from the right side, where it looks like a massive portion of the right side of the armor has been carved out. Like someone maybe took a bite out of it, or someone with an axe just cleaved right through in this portion. And their fight Can you roll an investigation check? And yes, you'll have advantage because while Sparky is with Astani, Sparky's spirit is with you, so you will have advantage on this.
Okay. Oh, you said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be 16.
16. You see a map forming in your head, and it seems to triangulate between 3 different places. The first, Jorks. The second, which you can now see, is a northward area, and you can see kind of almost marked like a tornado on the map is where the storm is at. The excavation site itself of Vertica. Where
A Vertica?
A Vertica.
Or were you saying okay.
Yes, a Vertica. No, listen, with how much I've been messing up words today, that's so valid. No. With how much I've been messing up words today, that is so valid. A Vertica, yes. Which you can see marks not only the finding of the armor, but it seems to have marked where another of those lost cities, similar to Vanya, similar to Felk, a city that was buried by the snow. Someone did not want this place to be found.
Yeah, it's like similar architecture too, where it looks like maybe there's an area that looks like the Unitel as well.
Correct.
Or
Unitel,
okay.
Yeah. As well as what you saw in Ziamara's vision. Which
Yeah.
you can also piece together. Because Elvar's been there as well. The name... Sorry, I had to scroll.
It's okay.
Ms. Wainbread. The name of Hyra. Hyra.
Okay.
A town on an island off of the coast of Ampistrano proper. Miles away, days away, weeks away. A place that largely many people didn't believe existed anymore. Another city that was supposedly lost. And you get a sense from this of the writings as Elvar is piecing together, seemingly on this excavation journey to see of the other cities that may have been hidden and for what their purpose was. And you can see on the map itself, the next question mark was around Vibran. As history's layout of all of the information talking about a name which is etched out of the history books, but you know that there was a town that was next to Vibran, that further in the west in the Genora wetlands, that is not there. He was heading there next when death called at his door.
Felk? Or is it a different town?
No, Falk.
Okay, just making sure. I was like,
he didn't know.
motherfucker,
He doesn't know the
okay.
name of it.
Gotcha. Okay, I was
Yeah.
like, there's
He
another
doesn't
hidden
know.
village.
No.
This is fucking Naruto.
No. No, he unfortunately died before he found out the name of this and was able to properly explore that hypothesis. You get the sense of betrayal. That emotion comes through. Because he did not meet his end on a battlefield. It was in his very own bed. As something awakened and made its attack and presence known. And you do see the room for a moment, the tent, as he's on like this slightly raised kind of cot, inlaid with bamboo. And as teeth pierce the right side, wearing the armor, not wanting to take it off as it's become so much a part of themselves. Blood splattering across the walls of the tent, which has been lined almost like those, to give the kind of scenario, the idea of when someone's chasing something. The very stereotype of when we see in crime scene movies, or like It's Always Sunny, we're looking at the wall of conspiracy, just following everything. Mark after mark, and you see again the symbol of the O and an S and thorns, that same brand that was branded in on the individual that killed Ronnie, that same brand that you found on Greenwich, as teeth pierce. The emotion you feel beyond betrayal is instead a curiosity. Elvar died with curiosity heavy on their soul. Not anger, not denial, not fear even. Curiosity of why he was chosen. And why these towns were covered. And now his life, as you see the tent itself being sucked into the earth, falling into darkness.
Buried again.
Buried again.
Was Xiomara buried? when she was killed?
No.
No.
No, you sense, and I think you see through Elvar's memories, her skeleton still lays in Hyra, not
Nobody.
properly rested.
Okay. Because nobody knew that Hyra existed
Exactly.
after she died. And then Ronnie's was just found by chance.
Yep.
And then Elvar was on their way to check out where Felk might be.
Correct.
Almost like whoever this is trying to cover up these places and also hide this armor.
Correct. Whoever this is has been hunting for this armor, but hasn't been deemed worthy to wear it for a long time.
Well, oh, bitch, you're certainly not proving yourself worthy. Like, hello. You think doing all this shit gonna make the armor's gonna be like, okay, fine. You could try me out. Like, girl. Hello. Fucking loser energy. And you still not gonna be worthy, bitch. It's been like 1,000 years. Like, give up. Go find some other thing. Find a different hobby. It's not hard.
Find something better to cry about.
Yeah. Honestly, at this like it's like crying over a man. That ain't worth it. Like, what do you mean?
I love it. But that curiosity, I think, has kind of been manifested with what you just mentioned as well. Stays. The armor itself is curious, as that has also interwoven of who and why.
What did the armor? I'm sorry, if you mentioned this, I just can't
didn't.
remember. What did the armor take from Xiomara?
From Xiomara, it was the emotion of not feeling like they had done enough, and regret that they would not see Belsarion grow up and what they would grow up to be. Okay.
I wasn't sure if that's something that the armor had absorbed from her or not.
I think the what is manifested would be the from that would be the growing up of others of the Shiftweave and what they're meant to be, which is something that the champion had also mentioned in your meeting a day ago, basically. Wanting to make sure that the future is secure and safe.
Okay. And then, again, with Elvar, them being like an archaeologist, more or less, interested in stories, interested in history, wanting to make sure that those stories remained and were told. So again, Deodora's like, not seeing a connection. She herself is not seeing a connection.
Sure.
But yeah, and then the thing that bit into Elvar.
Yes.
Same eyes, different.
You don't see the eyes. You feel the teeth.
Is it just it's just shadow?
Not even shadow. It's like nothing is there. Seemingly whatever did this, up until the moment that Elvar's thread was cut, was invisible. The death was pretty instantaneous, as it seems like the bite wound in itself probably severed spine. It was pretty instantaneous.
Yeah.
So you can feel that pressure settling around your stomach, but you don't feel any pain. Just a lot of pressure and teeth. I'll allow.
Probably had the best death, to be honest.
Yep.
Like, let's be real here. Quick. Yep. Great.
I'll allow this because I have a feeling I know what question you're going to ask me next, which is, do you smell anything with it too? Can you roll a perception check? I swear.
Can I have advantage because Sparky's spirit is with
me? The duality between
God
you and Sin is wild right now with the dice rolls. I'm just gonna say.
Honestly, this whole season, Deodora has been rolling like dog shit. Like, I've never had to use so much inspiration in past seasons before. Like, so
you saved it.
Yeah.
Would you wanted
to take it away from me.
Real quick, just for the sake of spicing up this drama a little bit, here's a question for you.
Sure.
Because I haven't used them yet, Deodora, I'm gonna have you roll a d20, but I'm not gonna tell you why. I just need you to roll one.
Oh.
I save that because I know what it is. It's your divination roll, but I rolled well on my advantage check. So, and I have good perception. Good. So save it. But thank you. But definitely save it because I don't want you wasting it on me. In this moment, at least. Maybe later.
Okay.
But I got. Is very important.
Yeah, I got. You said perception. I have a 26.
Oh, so good. Okay. With that perception, the smell of seawater, ocean, salt, and I think even just, you know how water sometimes has a taste? You can almost taste the saltiness of the water.
Mm-hmm.
You also, well, it's not a scent because of that perception roll. I think the image of gray and white come to mind.
Like a shark?
Yeah.
So an invisible shark chomped down on this. God damn. Okay. Or something.
Something.
Taking the form of a shark.
Correct.
Like a druid.
He was firmly
in wild shape.
Yeah. And again, pulling that tent into the earth. This one, from what you can tell, the person that did this was not touched by Shiftweave.
Yeah, well, neither was Bessarion.
True.
Yeah, I think Deodora's like, no, I don't want to say slowly, but like kind of like definitely like trying, like putting this puzzle piece together as she's getting all these things. Like the thread throughout all of this. We have a storm up north that just appeared and has been perpetuated. We have Xiomara being killed on an island where who knows the information, like who would have known she was there.
Yeah.
And then we have somebody killing Elvar before they could even make their way towards Vibran, which is close to Felk.
Yep.
And who built Vibran? It was Belsarion.
Yeah. Lots of threads.
Who was allegedly dead. Allegedly.
You have his journal, is all I will say. So who knows?
Well, I can't fucking read it. I'm gonna have that story time with somebody. Okay. You get the sense of seawater, great white, great white shark, teeth in the night.
Yes. That's all you get from that. And that curiosity, which stays with you.
Yeah. I'm more talking about like besides Elvar's feelings outside of what Elvar.
Yeah.
And then curiosity.
Pure curiosity. Which, again, the suit definitely ingratiates into itself as well.
Yeah.
And I think at this
there's hold on. There's static from me apparently.
Okay, well, it's good to know it's not a Zoom thing. It's frustrating as hell, though. Thank you,
Is it just for me?
Could be me, but who knows? Because I was talking at the time. I don't know. It's giving very racist, and once again, very black on this holiday
Both
season.
of
And
you.
for what
That's
reason?
so weird. Human scent. That's so weird. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. We'll just hang on real quick. Thank you for letting us know. God, so annoying. We will hopefully have this fixed when we come back. We don't have a tech one. So we'll just hold off for a second. Cool. Love it for us so much. Okay. Is it
Real interested that the white woman's not affected. I'm just saying.
God damn it, Bear. I don't know what's happening with OBS. Like I said, C and I will work on it. Oh. Is it gone? Are we safe?
Who knows, honestly?
We need to get confirmation from chat before I move on. Nah. Okay. Well. Oh boy. Thank you for your patience. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know what's happening. He just hates me. Alright, well hang on just a second more and we'll see if it's better. Hopefully it just straighten. Usually it's just a couple seconds and then it's gone. The fact that it's persisting is annoying. How about now? Are we better now?
I mean, it wasn't affecting you. So.
No, I know. I'm like, hey, can we try this again? See if it's better now. Maybe. Everyone's emotes are making me laugh. Right. So Sid, it's very funny because I was not looking at your camera and now I see yes, and it's gotten a lot darker for you and I.
This is why we have to turn those lights on early.
Yup, it's that time of year for sure. Not the slow poke.
What? It's cute.
It's cute. I know. I just. Okay. Are we good now, chat, or no? Sin or Fair, can I bother you to talk so we can see?
I mean, I've been talking. Like, how much talking do I need to do?
No.
If there's less,
Okay, we're good
if there's
now.
less mic static, give me a clap emote.
We're apparently good now. Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay. I think along with that curiosity, you hear behind you walking footsteps, and you don't see Elevar a different age. You just see them as they are. Kind of doing the very corgi look of moving their head like side to side, like curiously at you, at Ziamara, at Urani as well. Just kind of taking you all
I
in.
think I take them in and then kind of look at like everything that I'm carrying. Realizing that though I'm strong, I'm probably not that strong. But I will say to them, I don't know if I can carry you in this moment, but I can at least walk at your side.
Okay, so he nods. And then you see he kind of ruffles around. He, much like Ziamaris, is wearing just like a plain cloth. And you see him kind of do the thing of like, reaching to the side and pulling out a pair of glasses and placing them on their face. Along with, you see this makeshift kind of pad of paper and a little quill as he's taking notes as you're walking.
I don't think Theodora questions it.
Yep.
She can't read anyway, so it's fine. And also, just based on what she saw of his character, of their character, this just seems like them.
Yep.
Wanting to study and observe and understand.
And Elvar, just for clarity, does use he/they pronouns, so interchangeably. Okay. So you are good. And the two of you continue to walk amongst the stars and souls as we pan back to Rory. Rory, you have been patiently waiting, I know, to do a thing.
Oh no, I'm perfectly fine. To patiently do a thing.
Yes. You had mentioned when we last left off that you, in this moment, were currently doing a bit of not mediation, but moderation between yours, Astani's, and Aries' soul, trying to convince and reassure them that they need to fight back.
Or at least to keep doing so as long as they, for the next day or two, as we might have a way to turn this whole thing around, but it requires time.
Correct. You had also been shown during that time a
map to a mausoleum.
Map to a mausoleum and the entrance to the catacombs. And the question popped into your mind that I believe was why or what could have brought them to this point?
What basically you're showing me this, but why? What am I supposed to do with this?
You see, as an image forms in your mind, almost like the portrait that was in the kitchen of Ari with her mother and father painted. You see instead two young girls looking like they're 5 or 6, playing amongst the field of flowers, which you know is just outside of Jorix during a very spring day.
Mm-hmm.
Aries in front, and she's holding the hand of, it looks to be a young girl, slightly older than her at this moment, probably about 9 or 10. Mm-hmm. Bright blue eyes and hair the color of like a willow tree, I would say. Braided, kind of Pippi Longstocking style, but wearing a very fine dress. The name Wila, W-I-L-A, Nairfort, pops into your mind. The name is familiar. It's on the list of those that have gone missing. Lady Wila Nairfort, not originally from Jorix. She's from up north.
Mm-hmm.
Had also gone missing. You get a feeling from it of platonic at first, but then moving not into family per se, but the two of them seem to be romantically bonded. And Wyla's still missing.
And this is where she would be.
This is the seemingly areas not necessarily showing you in this moment the field of where she would be. That's where kind of in her mind haven of what's keeping her sane and in the moment fighting. But she knows that she walked a very similar path to the path that Wyla was, and Wyla was taken before her. But for whatever reason, Wyla was targeted, and then Ari was targeted. Another light appears on this kind of map, which you realize is starting to look more like a tree. As you see several, both noble families and not, popping up. As you see the name Kenrick Dansley, the image of a man grabbed from the alleyway just outside of the Boar's Hat. In the memory that flashes into her mind, younger. In fact, seemed to have probably have had a crush on Ari at some point. Was turned down and quickly became friends instead. Still kept in contact. A flash of memory comes to mind too. Conversation at the Boar's Hat 2 weeks before Kenrick went missing. Kenrick mentions that once he becomes Lord and takes over for his father, plans to do a bit of a change up with how the nobility is currently running things, and his desire to help out those in the Strand. Seeing Ari champion. Seeing Clara champion. Wanting to give more of an opportunity to all and not just advantages to further the rich.
And he was just kind of like, we can't have that. I'm guessing is the vibe I'm getting from this.
Openly at the bar, correct. Granted, he was very drunk, but yes. He does like his drink.
Okay, so what it's giving is that one Australian CEO dude who is like, people need to face abject poverty and be thankful that CEOs give them jobs.
But he's seemingly wanting to circumvent the will of his father.
No, he's the
the
opposite. Yeah.
Yeah, he's of the side of the people, not of the higher ups.
So no, wait.
And of course, he got taken out for that.
Yeah.
No, okay. So this guy, the drunk guy at the bar,
Dansley,
right?
yes,
is saying, "Hey, we need to reward more of the common people with the things and make things more fair for them."
Correct. We are basically gatekeeping wealth. And the reason that
he's a communist in a capitalist world.
Okay, because I was asking, like, okay, so is this person being like, oh, like people shouldn't have stuff?
No,
okay,
he is very much for the people.
So,
in fact,
so we caught up, and they had to be like, we can't have that.
Correct. Yes. Because this was a week or two before he was taken. And of the three friends...
This confirms some things then, so that works.
Of the three friends, Wyla was taken first. Kenrick was taken second. Ari was taken third. But of the three, Ari is the only one that either made it out or was released. That is the reason. That is what pushes forward, because Aerie, the fight is here, but you can see that her mind even now is split because her two friends are still missing. But not only that, the countless others who are also still missing.
So basically, she's in a roundabout way, asking me to either find out what happened to, and if possible, go rescue these people.
Correct.
Or at least I think that would be like reasonable to surmise here.
Correct.
I make the bold choice to ask one final question.
Okay. I'm going
and
to
then-
frame this to you, Rory, because you do have a choice to make. The connection and the arrow has slowly been wheedling away. You'll be able to ask that question, but you may not have enough time then to use that bone weaver thread.
What do you mean?
This is causing a massive strain on Aerie's soul and presence. She may not be able to take on anything else. So, you can ask the question. You might get that answer that you're looking for, but you would not be able to use then the bone weaver in time, as it will use up the remaining strength that Aerie has to keep that connection with you. Because yes, she is getting some back from the blanket, but she is still spending, and she is hungry, and she is starving, and she is tired. But it might be at the cost of her. You won't be able to do both. Her soul will not take it. It will shatter. So you have a choice to make. Question. Or do you use that thread to give her a couple of more days, enough time to maybe get some more thread and help to reverse the process? What would Rory do in this situation? Both. There's no wrong answer here. What? You look still very confused. What's up?
That's not confusion on my face. Ask Bear to interpret that real quick.
Okay.
That's not
That looked like
confusion on my
confusion to
face.
me. I'm going to be honest. So that's why I wanted to make sure, and how I've been messing up words.
That's a bitch. Are you for real?
How I've been messing up words today. That's why I'm checking.
Like, a bitch, I have to make a choice now?
I'm sorry. In this D&D game, yes, you have to make a choice. I'm sorry. It's how it works. So yes, you can totally ask Aerie this question.
Like,
Can I
listen,
ask?
add a file to the court case, but okay. So, you know what? I'm going to stay outside. I'm going to stay well inside the fourth wall at the moment,
Okay. Hang on one second, because I'll let you take that minute. Farrah, you wanted to ask something.
I was gonna ask something to Sin.
Okay.
Actually.
Go for it.
So it would require you to come back from behind the fourth wall. Come here real quick. I got a little treat for you. I was just curious what the question you were gonna ask was above table, so that it's not you making the choice.
Well, I mean, I don't want to ask that now. Like, well, no.
You could say
okay,
it.
you know
That
something.
won't
We're just
count
including
it.
the audience over here,
Until
right?
you tell me
Yeah,
That's what I was
otherwise.
trying to ask was.
Until you tell
This is
me.
above.
Yeah.
This is above table.
In fact, I'm even off the overlay on screen. This is a discussion between players right now. So.
Okay, I'm just going to turn over here. So I was going to ask the question, right? Like, but Aerie, how did you, like, but Aerie, like, if other people aren't here, how did you get here? That was going to be the question. But And the reason why is because at some point that would mean she would have to go, here's what happened, and maybe here's who I had to deal with on my getting out. And that gives us ideas on who our upcoming enemy is going to be that we could possibly prepare for, except that we can't do that because to do that is going to kill her. And it's important, like, I feel like it would be equally as important for her to be alive to see these people we're checking on as it is to have the answer to that question. So it's one of those, have you ever had something presented to you as an option that isn't actually an option? That's what I feel is happening right now.
Yeah, it's called the illusion of choice. Called the illusion.
Right.
It's
This is not.
Right.
This is not. This is
but
that
wait, no.
moral
This
question.
is between the players. Shh. Shh.
This is that moral question of there's one person on one railroad track and there's 5 people on another railroad track. Do you pull the lever? That's what this is right now.
You want to know what? Without something, I'm actually going to spoil something, but I'm not going to spoil it at the same time. If you had seen the game that Fair Bear played on their channel yesterday, which you should go and follow, it's that question and being like, based on the
promo.
right, based on the information that you have, which of these do you choose? And you're just like, girl, like that's you looking at the game like, girl, but back into character. So my understanding here is there is a way that I thought this was set up, and that is not what's happening. I have made an arrow of spirit energy to connect me to Aerie so that I could do so that I could examine what's happening here. My understanding now is that connection is going to have to stay there. In addition to this blanket that I wove to try to with this regeneration spell that I used. And both of those things have to be in place the entire time between now and whenever we go find out what we're going to find out. I also have no idea how many days I have. And if my understanding is correct, the questions that I have asked have now reduced the amount of time that we would have originally had I not asked the question, because it took energy to answer all that stuff.
I don't think
no.
All of that's what's happening in my head right now.
I don't think it's reducing the time.
It hasn't reduced the
that
time.
we need, but I think it's more that, like, kind of back to Jordan's previous point about like somebody who is like fighting to live and they get like that adrenaline rush. I think
yes,
Aerie's adrenaline is now starting to wane, and
yes.
so if in like what little strength that they have left, it can either go towards this question, or the question can wait.
Yeah, that's
you can still ask the question when they're healed.
Yeah, that's thank you, Fair. Yes, that is 1,000%. No time. Because again, we've established that as a safety tools thing, right? If there is a timed event of some sort, I will be vocal about that. That's why this isn't timed. I've been rolling every time you are doing something with Aerie, because you are helping her, but it's kind of like when Fair has Sparky do something like the assist action, helping with Deodora and what Deodora is doing. You are helping, so I'm rolling with advantage. But she is still, the deck is very much stacked against her. So it's causing a lot. So yes, you can totally ask that question right now, or you can essentially give her a bit more time and you can ask that question. So, but you can't do both. If you do both, you're going to spend more than what she has. She does.
It's like you're asking her for $5, but she only got one.
Yes.
I have another question, because I don't think this has been checked in a while.
Sure.
Is Astani doing okay?
Astani is hanging on. She rolled okay for the third one. It was just the second one that she didn't do great on.
Okay.
She is stabilized for the most part.
And where I am, where Deodora is right now, I could still feel all of this happening, like kind of like in the background?
Correct. It's kind of like watching like not necessarily like a puppet show, but like a shadow show. You know how when the lights go.
Like shadow puppets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're able to.
So it is a puppet show.
Listen,
So I would like
my
to.
brain is so tired.
I am just. I feel like the obvious choice is the obvious one here, so that's the one that I'm going to go and do.
Okay.
The obvious choice being, I like for like what we're doing. I think it's important that Aerie lives. So
Well, hang on, because Fair has one more question, which might help frame it a bit too.
I can feel all this happening because I have this connection with the arrow because it's shift weave in spirit. And I assume that I can also feel Aerie waning.
Aerie is on that cusp, yes.
Yeah. If I were to provide them, could I provide them with spirit
With where you're
energy
currently
where I
at?
am? Mm-hmm.
Let's roll for it.
And I guess could I provide that to them? And yet, if yes, would it help them? Is what. It's kind of a two-part question.
Sure. Depending on your role,
I'm rolling spirit.
yes. And you can add your shift weave bonus to it because it has to move through the shift weave to get to her.
Okay, so shift weave bonus. Let me look at my thingy. Okay. So that's a 17. I'm also going to use inspiration.
Sure.
Since this is kind of like a life-threatening thing.
Yeah.
So I rolled an 8 on my inspiration, so it was a 25.
25. You feel in this moment as you are sending this energy to Aerie, that Diamara and I've got so many names bouncing in my head right now. Ronnie. Thank you. And Elvar also through you are sending some energy. Not to add additional healing, but you see it almost like stairs being laid out as their spirit is kind of helping lift yours out towards the line where the shift weave and the veil meet.
Also, they're like kind of like a cheerleader pyramid,
A little
like
bit.
lifting me up so I can put some throw some spirit through the boop, and then come back down.
Yep. And you see it almost like a shooting star move through the barrier between the shift weave and the veil. And you can feel through the bond as it disappears out of your sight that it is helping. Now, whether they are regaining in terms of percentage or not, that's hard to tell, but you can tell that it's helping.
Yeah. I think I'll give them 10.
Okay. Sure.
Also, is my, like you said, I'm kind of like a shadowy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You are solid, not completely shadowed out like Javian is, but it almost looks like shadow flames have kind of incorporated all over your body at this moment.
Sick. Okay.
You are an inferno
Okay,
upon yourself.
Hell yeah, dude. Okay. Well, that's what I wanted to do since I felt this is dire. I don't know. Deodora obviously doesn't know if it helped. I
Sure.
don't know if it helped. But
So,
wanting to support
Yeah.
Rory in this moment.
there is a message, I think, that goes to both Astani and to Deodora. It is time for us to be going. We have a lot to do.
I have one more thing I need to do. I don't know if I can I don't know if I can reply back actually.
You hear it, but it sounds like the wind. Rory, you hear it, but it sounds, you do hear Deodora, but it's almost like she's whispering through the wind itself. And the image of feathers comes into your mind. Similarly, Deodora, you get this instance of you can continue onwards, or you can continue with this later.
Oh, I can come back to this?
You have 3 of the 4. The last one is that feather that's sticking out of your chest. But it's not like, oh, you have to do this right now. The shift weave is constant.
Yeah. I think this moment, for maybe the first time, Deodora's not very decisive. Because there's a strong part of her that wants to continue down this path, but she feels that urgency from Rory. And knows that Astani, though stabilized, is not necessarily in a good place. And I think she'll look to Ronnie and Xiomara and Elvar and like just gently set Ronnie and Xiomara down and say, I have to go, but I'll be back. Will the 3 of you still be here?
And they look amongst each other and back towards you and nod.
We will continue this together.
They nod. And what do you do?
And I will... I find my, like, move back towards my body. I don't know how this works.
Sure.
Like, I don't want to leave this path because we've journeyed very far, but if there's like a doorway or something, like somehow I can get back.
The path continues forward and the path continues behind you. You are moving forward, so I'm imagining that maybe you are running. The branches are still there.
Yeah.
The connection is still there. It moves with you rather than around you, if that makes sense.
So I guess I go back the way that I came.
Sure.
Knowing that I can find my way back here again later.
And you feel yourself being pulled. Are you moving towards your body, or are you moving towards the veil and using spirit and all of that? That is where it gets a little bit tricky.
I mean, I came here through my body in the shift weave, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would just literally go back the way that I came.
Okay. I was just checking because there, with Blackstone's spirit magic also kind of interwoven with it, there was a couple ways to kind of do it. But if you would like to do that, that's totally fine.
Yeah, I think Deodora, I mean, in this moment, I am the shift weave part of this, and it wouldn't make sense for me to take another path because Blackstone is the spirit part of everything.
And after
or Rory, rather.
And after a few moments, you do find yourself back within your body. Okay. Kind of coming to, and it is chaos. Aerie is screaming. Astani is fine. Kind of has collapsed, but not laying down. Is kind of just hunched over on the ground, kind of heavily breathing. At this moment, you see Clara and Valanya are trying to hold Aerie down. It looks like perhaps Valanya has been scratched across the face, or has some kind of cut. And Rory is kind of in this moment floating. The kind of jewels that make up their eyes glowing as well. And Aerie is just staring at Blackstone. As Blackstone.
Rory,
what would you like to do?
first things first, because I know that this is kind of an issue for Astani at the moment. I would like to fashion whatever the equivalent is to spiritual scissors. I know that I kind of have her in a cocoon at the moment,
Sure.
but basically to separate her from this entanglement she has with Aerie so that she doesn't die.
Sure.
What do I need to roll you for that?
That would be a
Spirit check.
yeah,
Right?
that'd be a spirit check. Thank you. My brain is starting to get very tired.
We're out here.
We are out here indeed.
Hang on. Oh, wow. We have another one of those today.
Damn.
No,
Damn.
must be nice. Brag.
Damn. Okay. What does it look like as you are fashioning these scissors?
So I go to take scissors thinking of a cutting tool, but I think what comes out is an exceptionally sharp scalpel.
Okay. Okay. And indeed it does.
I use that to more precisely separate Ostani and Aerie from each other.
Okay. And you can feel that pull again as seems like for a moment almost the scissors are going to be siphoned as well. But with a natural 20 and just your willpower, you're able to maintain that connection, no problem.
And I think the kind of Astani in her, I guess, in this area that we're in this space, maybe in an ethereal form,
Mm-hmm.
I send her ethereal form back first and just watch it
Yes.
dissolve as she goes back to,
Her body.
to like the physical world.
Yeah.
And then I follow a couple of moments after.
Okay. You find yourself again, kind of almost like waking up from a dream as everything that had been kind of slowly happening around you and in moving slowly speeds back up into real time, and it's just a crescendo of chaos and noise in your ears. Those eyes are still locked in on you.
Well, that was interesting. And also, it seems that we have an extra mission in the Graveyard District and we need to go as soon as possible. I don't know how long we have.
I think we have as long as Aerie's willing to hold on. So in this room, like, is Astani hurt spiritually?
She took some spirit damage,
Okay.
but not. You can kind of, and I'm not going to make you roll for it, kind of taking a look. Nothing that like a day isn't going to probably fix.
Okay. And then, I'm so sorry.
You're good.
What is the other cleric's name?
Vilania.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I
Yep.
was just like, that can't be fucking right.
Nope, it's Vilania.
Okay. Vilania, how is she looking?
Tired, but she was tired before. She's
Right.
still looking kind of between, specifically at this moment, Rory with a what the fuck kind of, because y'all kind of jumped into it and she just followed kind of thing, trusting your judgment. So kind of slowly trying to piece things together.
Right.
But she looks fine,
That
spirit-wise, just
well, that's
haggard.
That scratch on her face,
Oh,
though.
Feel
does
free
that
to
look?
talk. We can feel free to talk about that to each other if you want to in character, because I will tell you what happened.
I'm not so much asking about what happened. I'm more so asking, like, what is the state of everyone right now,
Yeah.
like physically and spiritually, just because I'm trying to get an idea of, like, I mean, obviously, Aerie is the most pressing matter. However, she scratched Volania, right, in the face.
Yeah.
What is that looking like? Because we know that Aerie is like rotting and having like this spiritual decay, and I want to know if that is impacting Volania in any way. Like, do we see anything like physically happening to her? Because
You see that she's already on it, because you can see that there is blood kind of dripping off of Aerie's limp hands. Very similar to Greenwich when she transformed. It seems like a portion of Aerie's hand transformed for a moment where
it's
her
like
nails,
monstrous.
yeah, not massive, it was just her nails, not even the full hand, transformed and got her. And you can see it looks like the nails are a sickly green, so it looked for when you are coming to like that cut had been set to be infectious. But Volania is already on it, and you can see as she's like looking at you that it's one, being purified, and two, is starting to seal up.
Okay. So she's got herself, and she's like, making her, like, she's not going to take any like, or be like cursed the way that Aerie is cursed.
Correct.
It's not going to pass on like a zombie.
No,
bite.
this is not a zombie apocalypse.
That was my fear, because I'm like,
valid.
oh great, so now we're gonna have a fucking cleric in this house with that. Like, absolutely not. Like, I'm about to start cutting off spellcasters' hands here.
No.
Like,
You can see, if anything,
So-
that's happening, as well as she is currently, looks like comforting Clara, but also healing Clara, as it looks like the swipe that Aerie did not only got Volania, but in her attempt to shield Clara, she collided with Clara, and it looks like possibly Clara's shoulder was injured in the process. So you do see Volania
like
kind of muttering.
dislocated or something.
Yeah, so you do see her kind of muttering a healing to kind of help set it back.
I think I will approach Clara and like, because I don't want Volania to like have like all of her attention split between like 3 different things.
Sure.
So I will like kind of pull Clara aside gently, and then basically give her my arm to hold on to, and then slam her shoulder back into place. But also, as I do that, I'm like, I do have a little bitty healing word, so I'll like, as I'm doing that, I'll slam my palm in to push it back into place, but also cast healing word and give her 5 hit points.
Cheese and
like, set it,
crackers is all
basically.
you hear. Is like she's trying to not curse as you're doing that.
Sorry, it's best to not give anybody time to tense up when you do that.
No, thanks so much. Ow. Fudge.
And then I'll like take time to like kind of like put her arm in like a sling.
Yep.
So she's not putting that much like weight on it or anything.
Thanks.
Do you need rope for that?
No, I think
There's enough cloth you could probably
Rope?
do a makeshift like sling. There's
yeah.
Volania
It's
has
just a sling,
things, yeah.
but like, yeah. But it's like, I mean,
for whatever
rope might
reason
be
in my
helpful.
latent programming, I have developed a knack for net weaving. I don't know.
Oh yeah, hunting traps. I taught Blackstone that.
Fishing nets, complementary things. Also,
Same thing.
Astani, I think Astani will ultimately be fine, but she flew a little too close to the sun as far as whatever this is
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah, I could feel everything happening.
I managed to separate her from the influence, and it seems to have been pretty thorough, but she's gonna need to rest for a day or so.
I think we could all use a rest. You did a lot.
Logically, you are correct. I think it may be the overabundance of emotions, but I do feel a bit more of a sense of urgency than usual, but The rest I think is necessary for what we need to do.
Yeah, things are urgent, but we won't be able to accomplish anything if we're exhausted and not at our full capacity.
Which it seems that there will be a bit of it. Apparently, according to Harry, a number of people close to her went missing, one of which apparently wanted better for the people of the Strand. So,
I mean, of course that person goes missing, right? Somebody who wants to make things better for the common folk.
Some things never change, nor do they cease to be very exhausting. But
Great.
Also in the Graveyard District, apparently in some catacomb area near the in a mausoleum, there's also apparently some arcane shenanigan at the mausoleum. So I suppose in order of priority, we should probably find the Bone Weaver materials and bring them back to start the process of healing, and then examine the mausoleum and the catacombs to find either missing people or a significant lead to where they are.
Likely both. We always knew that the missing people were always connected to the Graveyard District. That's where they were seen, and lights were seen there. I guess maybe they were arcane lights. I also have some things to share, but now is not the appropriate time.
Perhaps. Clara, Melania, my apologies. I would have tried to do something a bit more subtle if I had had the time, but alas.
You've done so much already. I don't think any of us know how to handle this, so... And this is Clara talking. Melania is just kind of... You still see very focused on Ari in this moment, just trying to make sure that she's comfortable. And trying to get her to calm down, because she's not screaming anymore. She is still very much exhausted, but is doing the thing of like, I am not going to sleep. I am too afraid to sleep because I may not wake up, kind of thing. Even with the reassurance of the blanket that has been on her, etc.
I managed to weave something out of both spirit and a regeneration spell to settle on her soul, or what remains of it. It'll regenerate some over time.
Wait. What remains of it?
So, who's asking this
Clara
question?
is still... Again, Melania is essentially consider her out of seed. She is focused on Ari. Clara is asking this and looking like you just smacked her across the face.
So, allow me to be very clear about what is happening with your daughter at this moment in time. As I understand, Ari is Clara's daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay. What is happening with your daughter at this time is wherever she went, whatever she went through, has introduced some type of thing that is essentially consuming her essence. This is why she appears as she does. The good news is, one, it is a thing that we have at least the knowledge to find materials to reverse. And in the meantime, I have placed within her a regeneration spell that will at least halt that process and buy us the time that we need to go and find the materials to do a more proper ritual. This thing that you've seen Melania doing, if you've been observing. That, but with a significantly more powerful medicine.
And you see she's both trying to take in, but she's also just astounded by the news that you're giving. I thought we were
We've-
just treating her physical injuries.
No.
Her soul?
No.
We've
The-
encountered this before, and it's something that a healing spell can't reverse. We need ingredients, and we need a ritual. And we
That
know how
will-
to get those ingredients, but we have to go get them.
And what you have before you, thankfully, is a person who knows enough, indicating Volanya, who knows enough to at least ease both the pain of both the body and the soul. You have myself, who has some experience with magic related to the soul. And you have over here a cleric who specializes in these things from your very own community, in addition to my companion here, who is learning about the magic of the soul, but can speak to the magic of, well, I suppose, incarnated history would be the best way to explain it.
I'm also good at chopping people's heads off.
You see, that's what reassures her.
The
That's what reassures her.
the thing that is also significant here is that your daughter is quite the fighter. And that, more than anything, is what is helping her stay here. She has a number of very important things to live for, including you. And that is what is keeping her here and what will allow us to have the time that we need to retrieve those materials. We have time, but none to waste.
I think I take Claire's hand while Rory is saying this and just say, Tyneal wouldn't have trusted us if we weren't at least capable of getting some things done. We're gonna do what we can. But in the meantime, I reach into my pack. This is something that I've had for a couple seasons now.
Yeah.
I don't remember how long I've had it. But I will hand her the potion of faith that I have,
Okay.
that I've been saving.
Yeah.
And say, I don't know how much this can help, but maybe it will if we're not back and things start getting dire. Use this, but I promise you, we will come back with the ingredients that you need to heal your daughter.
And you see, she looks grateful. She's crying at this point. There are tears that are welled up and have spilled over. She looks tired. She looks overwhelmed. But her eyes lock onto yours in saying the words that she can't yet say herself. And as you press that potion to her, she makes a motion for a second, kind of slowly freeing up her hand from you, not recoiling, but almost an exchange as she moves to her pocket. And it looks like she's pulling out a coin purse at first, because you do hear the jingle of silver, of metal. But as you see her, she does have to pull the the threads of the bag out. You see instead what pops up are, it looks like 2 necklaces, charms rather, both wings. And she holds the bag out to you to take it.
Oh, those look valuable. We don't need any payment.
They're not payment. I can't physically go with you on this. You're giving me something to keep the faith. And she motions to the bottle. Whatever is doing this to Aerie, and presumably those other people, I don't want you to lose the faith either. This is my way of reminding you that while we may be counting on you, we're with you too.
I think Theodora reacts not in a bad way, but just like in like a startled and touched way, but also like those words resonating with her because all she's learned so far from like the armor is the same thing, like people uplifting others, like telling each other stories and things like that. And so I think after a moment she will reach out and take the necklace and put it on.
2 wings. This is, and I won't make you roll, this is a perfectly ordinary necklace. It's not specially charmed, there's no advantages, but it's what she's able to give.
I will return this to you.
Return yourselves, but keep those wings with you.
So it's just one necklace with 2 wings, or it's
Yep,
2 necklaces?
2.
Okay, just wanted to.
Yeah, it's one solid necklace, but we're kind of, at first you think it's the clasp, because it just looks like a golden chain. But no, that's the front of the necklace. It unclasps and it's 2 wings meeting together. Almost like a small little mantle.
I'll take it and I'll like tuck it into my armor so it's like protected underneath that. So nobody can it can't be easily removed or torn off.
Sure. And that's with you. And she just, you see the world is on her shoulders, but even more so, she is doing the thing of, well, we got work to do. Focusing. We'll do what we can here. We'll keep an eye on Ari. I'll be in touch with the commander as well. And then you see her eyes again just locking on you, on Astani, and Rory. With real worry. And she pauses for a moment.
This is Clara still talking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
No, you're good. Can I give you a hug?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And she, very gingerly because of her shoulder, but also just you, she is shorter than you, but she will pull you into a hug.
Wild. She's shorter than Theodora, who's notoriously short.
Yep, she is shorter than you.
Okay.
She, on Theodora, probably is just below her shoulders.
Theodora feels tall.
I want to be tall. But she will give you a hug.
Yeah, I'll hug her back. I'll be, ginger with her as well, just because of her shoulder, but also I'm strong. So I think Theodora gives really warm, not crushing, but a tight hugs. Like the kind of hug that you kind of always want.
Yeah. And after a moment, she lets it go again. Kind of eyeing where, while we can't see it, where the necklace is at. Before her eyes meet yours again. Promise me you'll tell me that you're going to rain hell on these. And you see her try to form a curse word and she just can't bring herself to do it. People.
I will rain hell on these motherfuckers. And I'll make sure that they know that a good portion of it is from you.
That's all I ask.
Really, all I know how to do.
I use dancing lights and just formed them into a skull on fire.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
Just as a non-verbal response, it's promise me you're going to, and it's just a flaming skull on the end of my finger.
I love it. And she just says to the both of you, this is again Clara talking, stay vigilant and hold each other close.
Of course. And we'll hold you close as well.
Melania
we should
gives a nod to the both of you, kind of seeing she's busy still helping Ari, but also you all are kind of moving out.
I take the skull and dissipate it into 4 different colored balls of light
Mm-hmm.
to provide a bit more lighting to the room.
Okay.
2 things, because I know that there was like shadows and miasma and stuff like that.
Yes.
First of all, like, does the light reach the corners of the room, and is the room still as dark as it was, or has any of this stuff changed out here?
Nope, still as dark as it was. Not through magical means. It just looks like because it's storming outside and this room was already not very lit because Aria's resting or trying to rest at the same time. So, nothing of magical means. There's nothing dubious in the corners, so to speak.
Before we leave, I do want to still go into her room.
Sure.
And like just grab whatever looks interesting or suspicious and that, like, you know, could help us type. Not like that I suspect her of doing anything.
No. Okay.
Just anything that stands out that seems, I guess, abnormal.
I think that's a little bit tricky just because it's a different room. But you'll definitely pick up tons of cartography. Why don't you roll let's do a perception check?
Okay, I'm gonna use Sparky.
Yep. Sparky's with you.
Finally!
Did you nat 20?
Bitch, I got nat 20.
Let's go.
So that's 27.
I love it so much. Finally. Had to happen. Okay. You pull a number.
Sin finally decided to share.
You pull a number of pieces from the walls that look like potentially, may or may not, while they're not necessarily marked, might be layouts of dungeons or whether that's something she was working on or something she may have seen before she was taken. To at one point it looks like the city of Jorix has been mapped out completely.
Okay.
You also see, interestingly enough, I know Shiftweave is the one that you read. But are you familiar with any other languages beyond Common?
Gnomish.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay. Hey. Love it. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I just chose a random.
I love it. This manuscript that you come across, it's only a couple pieces of parchment kind of tied together. Largely written in Aries' hand, but it looks like notes of a thing. The thing that pops to mind with it, though, is it's gnomish in its kind of font. I don't know if Rory is with you and you would like to then be like, yo, what the hell is this? But that is available if you want.
Either way, I'm gonna be taking things, like, because Clara said that I could take whatever would be helpful.
Yep.
And so even if Rory's not in the room with me, I will still take it and show it to them later.
Sure.
If I need to.
You grab that.
The map of the dungeons, does it seem like it was like in relation to the castle?
Yep.
Okay, absolutely take that.
Yep.
Those. I take the map of Jorix. I take I think pretty much I'm ransacking this room, but respectfully.
I love it. Yeah, it looks like, because it's not a dungeon you've seen at like under Tiny Hills in any way, shape, or form. This looks like it's meant to hold a number of high profile kind of criminals and anyone who the crown deems as a criminal, rather.
Yeah. One more question as I'm like taking all these maps and notes and stuff.
Sure.
Do I find any like hidden like secret panels or like a loose floorboard where something would be hidden under? Or like, I don't know. I know this is like a house in the Strand, but like, you know, I pull on a candlestick and the bookshelf turns into
You do
Some
find
Scooby-Doo shit.
you do find a loose floorboard, and it's right beside her kind of cot. And in it are a number of portraits of her, along with a girl with brown hair and a little blonde boy. You see too that this essentially was Aries' banking area, as all of her coins that she's been saving are there.
Okay. And then just this picture.
The picture, I would also say just kind of random bits, almost like if you've ever had like a memory box of like, oh, I'm gonna press leaves
And I
together,
do.
and yeah,
And I do.
and I do. You see that. You also see, I think, on there a small journal of sorts as well.
I am I'll hesitate, but then I will take the journal.
Okay. All right. You can mark that you have Aries journal as well. Okay. Anything else you all wish to do at Aries' home? And Blackstone, are you doing anything with that bone weaver thread or no?
I think we gave it to Valanya.
Okay. Wanted to double check just to make sure. So.
Yeah, we gave it to Valanya to be like, hey, we know that this is like immediately useful.
Sure.
I think that was with the understanding that Valanya knows how to use it.
Which she would have an idea, at least because she works with all of the temples. So.
Okay. If Alanya doesn't know how to use it, I will take the time to explain. But I think it's just one of those, Alanya is very focused on other things, so I don't know where that happens.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Maybe write a note. Maybe write instructions down. Since you know how to do that.
Well, yes, except is Valanya going to have time to read them?
I'll have time, is all you hear from the other room.
Stop talking about me like I'm not here.
I will make time. Don't worry about it. I will do it. I'm not sleeping. It's fine. Is all you hear.
Did you want to just put it in her mind?
I think she's had enough things placed in her mind for one day. I'll go and find a piece of parchment. And Clara, would you have any writing utensils here at your home?
I don't, but Ari would or Valanya would.
I toss down a quill. I toss a quill down from the bedroom.
I need something to write on.
A piece of paper drops, like a bundle of papers drop down that are blank. Like a sketchbook drops down.
Thank you. I also imagine at this moment Valanya is just looking at us like, are you really being that loud in this room? And
she's finally gotten Ari to chill. Like, now you're yelling.
Ari sits up and screams again.
Basically, we finally got the baby down, and this is what you decide to do.
Exactly.
Wow. But I take the time to write the instructions based on what we like, the techniques that we learned at Felk to deal with these problems.
Yeah.
I do not write them in Felk. I write them in Common.
Figured as much.
I take the time to just go like, here's what the technique is, and here's the order that you need to apply these things in, and here's how often you need to change stuff for it to be maximally effective with a limited amount of the limited amount of bone weaver stuff that you have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stir counterclockwise 5 times, then clockwise 10 times.
Love it. Okay. She gets the directions. You have your items. Anything else?
No, I make sure to like grab on to Stania's hand so that, because she's still kind of.
She's in shock right now, so
Yeah.
from the whole thing. this was a bit more than she realized, so I think it overwhelmed just a little bit.
I take a moment to have a conversation with Theodora as we leave the room.
Okay.
And as I make the connection, Theodora gets an undercurrent of worry from Rory. I am concerned about our new companion.
I think she's more resilient than maybe she presents in this moment. All of this was shocking to us as well. And being thrown in the deep end like that, not easy.
I would agree with that, and therefore am concerned about going further into the deep end. I imagine that there will be more of this going on, not less.
Unfortunately, we do not have the time to consider these things in depth. If we're in the deep end, it's sink or swim. And I think she'll choose to swim.
I will trust her intuition, but I will also endeavor to be a bit more cautious.
Well, that, I think, goes without saying. We only know part of what we're dealing with right now. There's more going on than we even understand. I have much to tell both of you when we're back at the safe house.
Understood. And the connection recedes. Rory doesn't say a single word for the remainder of the walk back to the safe house.
Theodora looks at him like, you're not usually this quiet.
And I think once you arrive and safe house is pretty quiet and you find yourself back within those pretty familiar walls at this point, that is where we will end today's episode. Wow, y'all. Good job. That was a lot. I'm so proud of you. Great job. And thank you, chat, for hanging with us. As I said to the cast, oh, this will be short. And no, it was not. But there was a lot that was going on and a lot we were covering. So thank you all so much. Let's go around and say who we are, where they can find and support us, and any other special announcements. I will jump to Sin first.
Hi, once again, your resident sunflower person who is probably going to do something very, very unhealthy with the interaction that they just had.
Oh.
Several unhealthy things, actually, and some of which are spurred by Jordan. So, with that being said, hopefully you will enjoy how that unfolds. I have been your resident he, him, spirit mage, and blacksmith, Rory. And also your resident he, they in real life, where you can find me doing the occasional streaming things, the podcasting, ranting at the tech industry things, and of course being here with these lovely people.
Incredible. Thank you so much. And we'll jump over to Fair.
Hi, I'm Fair, and I've been Theodora, your resident Battlemaster fighter and shifter. And also, I guess, gonna have to be, I don't even know, I think Deodora's so used to just being like her and Blackstone enabling each other that I don't know if she can be the responsible friend in this one. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. At the very least, Rory should know that Deodora is down to clown. But you can follow me on socials at Fairbear, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok, and here on Twitch where I do stream. You can also find me on Dibbles and Dice's channel when we're back for The Monster Within, a Vampire the Masquerade campaign, featuring a cast members playing a bunch of newly minted vampires and all the shenanigans that comes with. And yeah, that's all I have to say. I feel like I normally say something else, but I can't remember. So
Also, go vote for Fair. Just saying.
Oh yes,
Go vote
I
for
was
Fair.
nominated for Disabled Moderator of the Year award. I just learned this last night, so please forgive me for not remembering. But yes, it's on my Blue Sky if you want to vote for me.
Go do it.
Also, some other lovely community members are nominated for things as well, so go vote for them.
Yeah. And I have been your storyteller, D&D Jordan Lee. And this is my channel. I will be back here on Monday we are going to get a first look at Greenhearth Necromancer, which is really exciting. Body doubling game. The demo just came out, so we'll be checking that out before Cult of the Lamb. And then I'll be streaming a lot this week because this week is a weird week for a lot of people, and I'll be offering up that space. So come hang out. Reminder, there will not be an episode next Saturday because the cast is going to get a break. So we're going to take a week off, but I will be live, and it's a great time for you to catch up on everything Ampistrano. Reminder, we have episodes coming out on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So please go and check them out and go support this phenomenal cast. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the mods as well, working so hard. And thank you all for your patience today. But we're going to get out of here. We're going to go raid someone lovely. I am sure you'll be plotting. But we're going to get out of here, y'all. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. And from beyond the veil to all of you, we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.